I'd like to clarify that this isn't an apology video. I'd also like to make a disclaimer that I do speak on the topics of rape and sexual assault. I wanted to make a video talking about my recent accusations that came up on Twitter like 3 weeks ago. People saying that I was like a rapist, serial rapist, pedophile, I hit a girl. I just wanted to say that all that is false. I've never raped anybody, let alone 10 girls and all that other shit, fucking bullshit. But there was a story, there's something that happened about 5 years ago that got twisted and through people and like got turned into this big thing that was between me and the girl that has already been figured out and talked about and all that shit, but it just fucking blew up everywhere and got way out of context. Back in 2015, me and this girl started talking and we became very close. We became good friends. We text a lot, FaceTime, and this led to her being like, I want you to be the first person I do sexual things with. I want you to do this and that to me. And I've never done anything before. And she trusted me, I trusted her. We were friends, and I was like, oh, okay, maybe next time that we are in person, right? And so at this kickback thing, summer of 2015, after being friends for months, I was like, after hanging out for a little bit, I was like, do you want to go to the other room? And she was like, yeah. We go in there, and then we're just hanging out for a little bit. We start kissing, and it's like this whole situation where it's like I want you to teach me how to do things, and I wasn't very experienced myself, but like it was for both of us an awkward experience, but I did things to her, she did things to me. We never had sex. We were both sober, and during that moment when it was happening, I never heard her say no. I never heard her say stop, and it was light enough to see her expression and everything, and she didn't seem uncomfortable or anything like that. So then after a while, after we were just hanging out in there, the person whose house it was like, where's Jack in person? And they came and they were like, oh, you guys aren't doing stuff in my house, and then then she went to the bathroom and then called her friend and then was just acting weird. And that's when I was like, what's wrong? Like, is everything okay? And then she just like didn't really talk to me, and like she's someone that texts a lot and like is very social, like through text and call and stuff like that, but in person, like very quiet. And there's nothing wrong with that. But just a very quiet person, and someone whose expressions are hard to read. I'm not playing dumb when I'm saying like, I didn't hear her say anything, she didn't say anything, like no, like in the moment when we were doing sexual things, I never heard her say no, I never heard her say stop, I never, what the fuck, like, she didn't seem uncomfortable at all. It was an awkward situation, but so, I was in like a carpool thing, went home with a person who was like, oh, you're right, and then, the next day, she was like, you raped me. And I was like, what? Like, and so for months after that, we texted and she was like, you raped me, you made me feel so uncomfortable, you hurt me. And I hated myself. I felt horrible because I made her uncomfortable. I like hurt her. I wronged her. And that whole experience was just her being like, I want to be comfortable doing sexual things, like, and I think that, like, you know, in that moment that was all happening, like, she, you know, wasn't what she thought it would be, but I had no way to tell that she was uncomfortable in that moment. But with her and us texting and her being like, you raped me, like, you hurt me so bad, I felt, I fucking wanted to kill myself. Like, I hated myself. And like, I was like, well, like, what can I do to make this better? And she was like, just keep talking to me, talk to me. Like, I don't want you to stop talking to me. And so this was just an endless cycle of that for like a long time. So at this point, I was literally willing to do anything to like make her feel better. Because I felt like it was all my fault that, you know, she felt uncomfortable in this situation and felt the way she did. So I said anything she wanted to hear. She told me that she did say stop. She told me she didn't want to and all this shit. But like, never once in that situation, we were both sober, did I hear that or anything. And that was not communicated to me. And I'm not playing dumb. I'm not saying, oh, I didn't hear shit. No, like, I literally, like, I was sober. I didn't hear her say anything. And so, like, yeah, I just said literally anything that I could to make her feel better and to just apologize, like, for anything, even if, like, I wasn't in a headspace where I was standing up for myself, because she was my friend and, you know, we were so young and, like, you know what I mean? I felt awful. And then, like, months later, like, you didn't rape me. Like, I'm sorry I put you through so much. Like I over-exaggerated, da-da-da. Don't remember exactly what she said. Keep in mind, this is 5 years ago. The device I was texting her on is iPod Touch 4th generation iMessage. I don't have the screenshots anymore, unfortunately, because that would help a lot with this situation. But again, like, I felt horrible. And it took me a long time to realize, like, look, like, yes, I did make her uncomfortable. Or it took me a long time to realize, yes, I unintentionally made her uncomfortable. But, like, I know that in that moment, if I heard her say no, or I recognized that she was uncomfortable or something like that, I would have stopped. And, like, you know, like, we stopped talking after she apologized to me. And then, so years later, it's like, Jack's a rapist, da-da-da. And I messaged her and I was like, hey, like, again, like, I'm sorry all those years ago, like, I made you uncomfortable, but I didn't rape you, right? And that sounds and looks awful. And I recognize that. I wasn't thinking about that in the moment. I'm not someone that, I don't know, fuck. You know what? Fuck. This shit's just so fucked. Recently, before all this shit blew up on Twitter, when we were talking about it, we came to mutual terms that, you know, we were young, we were dumb, da-da-da. Like, you know, I apologized again. Like, I never had any intention to make you uncomfortable. I'm sorry. Like, and cause, like, you know, what else could I do? Like, cause at the end of the day, like, she was uncomfortable by my actions, even though they weren't intentional. So, like, this blows up on Twitter and everyone just jumps to all these conclusions and da-da-da. And if I would have said anything when this all blew up on Twitter, like, no one would have fucking, like, it wouldn't have mattered what I said. It would have just been canceled, fuck him, da-da-da. Like, you're this, you're that. There's no, like, this happened 5 years ago. I have screenshots, I have all this shit, but I can't go back and get something from a device that, you know what I mean? Like, it's, I found an iPhone 4 charger, like, I plugged it in, I deleted all my messages to make space for music. Like, I did everything I could to like try to fucking put justice to this, but like there's nothing I can really do, otherwise I'd do it. And I don't blame anybody who publicly distanced themselves from me, mainly like music connections and mutuals and stuff, because, you know, if I was them, I'd do the same thing. So I hope this clarifies everything. I'm still going to be making music. That's something I'm really passionate about, and you know, that's something that can't be taken away from me. More details and stuff about that later, but for now I'll probably just be low-key about everything. But yeah, thank you for watching to the end, and you know, if you continue to support me, thank you. And I hope, I already said this, but I hope this gives clarity to the situation. But yeah, thank you so much. Bye-bye.